back to Kevin Reviews. I just saw the Conjuring Last Rites, the fourth, not the fourth Conjuring film, not the fourth film in the Conjuring universe. This is the last Conjuring universe film. As far as I know, this is the last one, um, hence Last Rites. But this is directed by Michael Chavez, who you might remember. He directed Curse of La Llorona and The Conjuring 3. And we have three writers, Ian Goldberg, Richard Niang, and David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, who returns writing for the Conjuring 3, from The Conjuring 3. And we have returning Ed and Lorraine Warren, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, and some newcomers, including Mia Tomlinson and Ben Hardy. So, I was looking forward to this. This is actually my first, uh, Conjuring film I've actually seen in theaters, because I never saw the other ones in theaters. Not even the spin-off ones. I haven't seen them in theaters. So I was really looking forward to it. It was my first time. Um, but then there's the thing, because while this is the last one, there is some concern. I was a little bit concerned about um, how it was going to, is it going to do better, be on par with the first two Conjuring films, or be something okay, like or at least good, decent, good in the third one, or is it going to be like some of the spin-off ones, like The Nun or Annabelle? Um, so I wasn't sure. But the trailer looks good. It looked interesting, and you know, I you know, getting back into the cases. And it was all built up like this is why it's their last case. So you're kind of going in pretty excited that they're going to get some good scares. Um, kind of. Um, Here's my review. So the story is, this time is the Warrens are now retired. Ed especially has, with his heart problems, from ever since what happened to him in The Conjuring 3. They're all retired. Their daughter Judy's grown up, um, and she has a boyfriend now, by the name of Tony, and so um, they're not taking any more cases, but something from their past, their first case that they did, comes back to haunt them in a form of a haunted object, which I won't mention, um, and it comes into the possession of a family of 8, I think, called the Smurl family. I don't remember, to be honest. Getting ahead, but I don't remember the family at all in this. And so, because of this, this haunted thing starts to happen to them, and the Warrens do take the case, and I say that in a way because, to be honest, I think this is not the best of the Conjuring movies. Now, I don't think it's terrible. There are good things. It does have some good scares, tension, even though the demons or the ghosts look like Batman's Joker, family, with the smiling all the time. Um, it's hard, almost kind of hard to take it seriously, but there are some good jump scares and good moments. I wish there was a little bit more creativity to it, just a tiny bit, but I think what was given was fine. Um, Overall, Ed and Lorraine, Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga still do a great job in their roles with what's given. Mia Thomason as Judy, grown up Judy, is still is good, though. Granted, I there are moments in her character that don't quite add up to the Judy who I remember in Annabelle Comes Home. That was actually a lot smarter than the Judy in this one. Though, granted, it's you, she's older, so maybe she didn't remember much of her childhood. I don't know. Regardless, I think Mia Thomason does a fine job as Judy. She does even look like her mother, Lorraine. Um, so that's at least good. And I think the boyfriend's also good. He does even have a backstory. It's not a plot point necessarily, but it does give him some weight. Weight, though it doesn't add a ton to it. But he does fine. I think where my problems are is the pacing. It takes for so long for the Warrens to actually take the case this time. Most of the time, when it does focus on the family or the stuff happening, you get like at least two, maybe three jump scares, or good tension jump scares, or not. I don't know. Some of them didn't even that work that well. And then it goes back to the Warrens. It takes pretty a long time because we're focusing on the Warrens getting used to retired life. They're still doing some lectures, though they're not taken as seriously, and they're even kind of joked about or laughing stocks. So they so but the majority of the time it's about Ed and Lorraine being comfortable with Tony, Judy's boyfriend, and it's it's good, but it's painfully slow. It takes so long for the Warrens to actually eventually take the case. Um, you know, it's not. I'm not saying that this drama stuff works, but I mean, you're watching a horror movie. You're wanting, a lot of good tension and scares, and it doesn't really do it that much. It tries to play along the lines and at least try to give you some good scares along the way. But for the most part, it seems more majority of the movie feels more like a drama than it is horror. And I give credit for at least Conjuring 3 because at least it tried something different and made it more kind of like a crime drama, even though there isn't a ton of scares in that one. This one just feels like it's Conjuring 1 and or 2 mashed with Conjuring 3. So it's like we get a same repeat of the Conjuring 1 and Conjuring 2, and we get the the pacing or the drama or whatever in 3, which I don't know, it doesn't really mesh well to me. And the family is not interesting. There's 8 family members, and I barely remember majority of them. There's like 2 sisters. I don't even remember their names, but they had some personality, but we don't really explore it that much. Not even the Warrens when they eventually take the case, and this is like the last third of the film, and they don't even there's not a ton of talking. There's not like in the first or second one. So I don't know. It seems like there was like different writing, different scripts that didn't mesh well, and they just kind of pushed it together. I don't know. I think the pacing really bothered me. It just felt like it dragged a lot of times whenever it focused back on the Warrens instead of well, let's get to the case already, because that's kind of one of the best things about The Conjuring, even if we've seen it multiple times. Um, but I will say the lighting isn't always great. It's often too dark to really see what goes on in the film, and I don't know. And I mean, I know that's the point because it's supposed to be a horror, but there's moments where I wished there could have been more light involved. Even when it just focused on the family, there's not a ton of light to show their faces. They're just kind of, they're in a home. It's mostly dark and whatnot. So I don't know. I will say it does at least have a good send off to the Warrens. I will say that. Strangely enough, I do like this less than The Conjuring 3, unfortunately. Again, I think it just has to do with the pacing. There's also moments where they kind of force in, like, there's something Lorraine taught Judy since she was a kid. No, we don't really see it like in other times when they meet each other. Not even in the Annabelle Comes Home for so I don't know. It seems a little forced on that. Um, the message was pretty predictable, even about keeping stuff in, there versus the opposite of keeping stuff in. So it just doesn't. I don't know. I don't think it's terrible. I think if you are a fan of first of the Conjuring universe, at least the Conjuring films, I think you'll like this fine. It's a nice send off. Like I said, the performances are well done. There are good scares at times, um, in tension. But I don't know. I think the pacing just really bothered me because I really wanted to get to the case. I wanted the Warrens to interact with the family like they did in the past. Want to get to know the family more and what they're struggling um, with what they're facing supernatural wise. So I would give the Conjuring Last Rites 2.5. I think I'm being generous because I do like it. I see potential in it, but maybe because it's the writing or the script, screenplay, or story that didn't. It just seemed like there was too much going on to really make it concise and flowing overall. But maybe that's just me. But what are your thoughts on The Conjuring Last Rites? Leave in the comments below. Give a like or a dislike if the review if you want, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. And as for now, um, the ticket goes in here. There we go. And I will see you in the next review. Bye.